Dear Mother, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to you from the front lines where I have witnessed something that I cannot explain. It was like a metal beast that had come to life and was coming towards our trench. It was unlike anything I've ever seen before. I cannot fully express the terror that ran through my body as the machine made its way towards us. The ground shook beneath my feet and the noise was deafening. I saw some of my comrades fleeing, but I was frozen with fear. I could not move, nor could I look away from the monster that was approaching us. As it came closer, I could see it was a tank. A massive armored vehicle with guns mounted on it. It was like nothing I've ever seen before. I could hear the bullets just pinging off of its armor as our guns fired on it. But it did not stop. It just kept coming, crushing everything in its path. I truly thought this would be the end, that we would all be crushed beneath its tracks. But somehow we managed to hold our ground and the tank moved on. I'm not sure what this means for the war, but I fear that things will only get worse. We're facing new horrors every day, and it seems that the enemy is always one step ahead of us. Please pray for us, Mother, as we continue to fight for our country and our very lives. Your loving son, Alfred. Hey guys, still here and welcome back to the Great War Western Front. The Western Front is still going, despite my best efforts. Now, noteworthy, this is the first episode of this series I'm recording under the 1.1 patch. Why is that noteworthy? Well, a couple of things have changed relative to the base version, such as the timers. If you're playing on a difficult or a higher difficulty mode, your game timers, so your field commander battles, as they call them, are going to be shorter. If you're playing on lower difficulty, they're going to be longer. So I'm going to have, ideally, a few more minutes. Tanks have received certain debuffs. Planes no longer provide 100 points of free support. And the previous episodes, I haven't done the 1.1 version because I already recorded those a long time ago. So, last episode, I was kind of expecting that last time around as well. And that too has been changed because last time I did, I believe, make it to the Allies not having any national will left. And with the patch 1.1, that should immediately end the game. This time around, it didn't. So I'm here, and I'm going to give them one more blow. It's time to put our new steel beasts to the test. Especially seeing as this is most likely going to be the last episode. I'm going to bring some tanks. Some tank battalions. 3 Sturmpanzerwagens and 1 Flakpanzer. Based on my experience with the Flakpanzers, they're pretty awful. And... oh, that's nice. I don't like them at all. Because they're generally just jack shit. I get 7 of these guys. That's a lot. I'm going to send them all to Nogent-sur-Seine. Where, of course, since they moved, they will not actually be able to attack. But they will be useful in the last attack on Sens. Ideally, this is going to be the last battle, but I am most likely going to come under attack. Sorry, no. Well, yes and no. I could choose to do the battle now, and that will most likely get me a win. I don't even have to do it here. This is 4 cores, this is 2. I could just basically push on any position so long as I win it, or don't lose it, rather. And get that last point, but I do want to bring the tanks in. The problem is, the AI is likely to counterattack somewhere. Could be here, since this is a sizable portion of their army. It could be here, since they both have planes as well as tanks. And it could be here, although less likely. Let's bring my air force over to Nogent-sur-Seine in case they do decide that they want to play. And let's get these guys moved here as well. So this is definitely my Schwerpunkt at this point. Do I need to keep all the units here? Most likely, because I can't get attacked. So, in order to bring the tanks in, I'm not going to do anything. I am going to just end the turn. Do the Allies even have enough money? Nogent-sur-Seine is coming under attack. This is where all of my forces are, including the tanks, because I'm coming under fire. And it's the group from Provence. So, it is a group without aircraft. That is somewhat useful because it means I don't have to worry about my guys getting shot down. My balloons should make it a little safer. And I can use the battle boxes. I can use the tanks. So let's get to work and get some tanks into action. Important to note, their makeup consists of 2 tanks, 8 artillery light and 8 artillery heavy, and a bunch of infantry. What they also changed in the 1.1 patch, in case you haven't seen the patch video on that, elite infantry has snipers. Other infantry does not. So only elite infantry will be able to go on the offensive. Now, I don't have a ton of supplies, but thanks to 1.1, I don't strictly have to, because the trenches are already bought and paid for. Of course, I can upgrade them if I so choose to, but I don't have to get them again. And this is something that was bugging the base game. You just had to buy those things again and again and again. And as you did that, it got expensive to the point where, well, you could just redeploy your old trenches and nothing else. And now, if you stick on the map, such as this one, you get attacked again, you just build more trenches. And you just build them out and out and out and out and out and out up until the point where you're in no man's land. So you're going to have enormous trench lines. Now, the allies here are dangerous. I am fully expecting a bunch of attacks. I have tanks. I am eager to use them, but they're also pretty expensive, and I still have to defend. So let's focus on defense first. And let's make sure that I have, not necessarily in the command trench, that I have guys first. These also take up your pop cap, so be careful. Now, when it comes to these Sturmpanzerwagen A7V, 6 mounted machine guns and a front-facing cannon. Important, because this thing is going to only shoot its big gun out the front. The British tanks, I think it's the Mark IV, the Mark IV-C, Mark IV cannon, they have guns on the sides. And that gives them a lot more firing arc, a lot more flexibility. These things can be a little restrictive. You have to really turn them in the right direction, or they're just not going to work. Now, let's do a little experiment. I'm going to go with the weather balloon. Sorry, observation balloon. I'll eventually get it right. And just make sure that I can spot things. I don't care about arty. I'm going to use tanks, and I'm going to deploy as many as I can early. I know that they don't have bombers, so I don't have to worry about those. And this means I can execute tank charges against infantry out in the open, provided I can spot them. Which, thanks to the observation balloon, I can. So that's the plan. Work with that. Now, seeing as infantry is going to cost me 20 later, but tanks are going to cost me 120, I will use as many of these early as I can field. So I'll bring this, and I'll bring one more unit of elite infantry. If you get an infantry unit close to a tank, it buffs the morale. So the regular morale is 100%. With a tank nearby, these guys go, wow, we got the firepower. And their morale goes to 128%, which is very nice to have. Let's upgrade some of these trenches. Or not, because I can't. I can't exactly afford much either. So let's begin. Now take note of the map timer. The map timer is now 25 minutes, which means it's longer than it used to be, because I used to have 20 minutes, but because I'm playing on Soldier, you're now getting a few additional minutes. So I got a couple of these guys over here. Let's inspect them. They do appear to be facing the wrong way? No, sorry, that is the right way. That's their cannon up in the front, and then they got machine guns out on every side. I fully expect some of these to get lost, so be it. The game is already thinking it's going to be a minor victory, so I don't have to do much, I think. Nor can I, when you're looking at supplies. I simply don't have a lot. So I'm going to sit here and wait for the first infantry charges to come my way. And then I'm going to give them the good news. I'm going to get this as group 1. I'm going to get this as group 2. I'm going to get this as a sort of roving group 3. And the French are also using their tank. This is the FT light tank. They do have a gun, but it's only machine gun, I think. So their chances of actually being very useful are fairly limited. Here we go. Oh, they're out in numbers today. Let's bring 2 groups of tanks. Keep 1 somewhat in reserve. They're already getting hit by sniper fire. That is progress. Yeah, it's an MG tank. This tank basically can't hurt me. And I do believe that my guys are also going to give bonuses. Oh, this is going to be a disaster. Oh. The other attack wave is still on the way. Let's turn starboard, is what I'm going to say. Because these land ships of mine... Did you have a gun? Yeah, this guy has a cannon. Prioritize him. See, that middle tank did not fire. Simply because it couldn't. Anyway, these land ships of mine have 2 machine guns out the left and 2 machine guns out the right. And with that, they're more useful if you turn them sideways onto the enemy. Tanks are... Look at this. Sweet Jesus. Okay. Yeah, that capping is not quite gonna work. I am taking arty fire. That's unfortunate. And there is already a whole bunch of infantry on the way. I need to destroy 3 observation balloons. I can get 1 perhaps here, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. Oh yeah, no, by all means. Let me know how that's gonna end up. Yeah, I don't think so. Now, the AI in this new patch is going to be patrolling between their control points. And I can do the same. So I can keep my tanks mobile. Fuel is not a consideration. And that means you can just keep these things roaming about, doing as much damage as you can. You don't have to worry about them running out of fuel. You only have to try and keep them, well, moving to make sure Artie doesn't get an easy shot at them. Beyond that, make sure that you don't get hit by another tank, and you should be fine. This is gonna be a disaster. If I play this well, I could probably kill every company without losing any men. What a waste they're already on the tanks, though. The rate and speed at which these guys are dying is nuts. That's an MG tank. That's a cannon tank priority. Because that thing will damage me. Kill it. Gone. Now, Brother Monroe already designated these things as the battle shoeboxes. Or we did that together during a stream, and I think that's accurate. Oh, that's not good. Retreat. Leave this place. Leave this place. I agree. They're just... I don't know. They're a really pissed off shoebox. And they... No. They will take damage from Artie. They will take more damage from mortars. They will take damage from machine guns. But if you point their guns in the right direction... Look at these guys. They're not even getting shot at. Yeah, they are now. They're not even getting shot at and they're already taking morale damage. Retreated. If Siege already felt like a delete button, this is a sort of I win button. It's not flawless. Tanks can be killed. But tanks against infantry that's roaming around out in the open is a disaster. Oh, they got one. Is a disaster for the infantry. Basically, so long as I don't get into range of defenses, static defenses, or the occasional mortar. I'm not even sure if they have that. These guys have 0 chance. Gone. And they do consistently try to capture, of course, but absolutely no chance. So, the research to get here is pretty expensive. You're going to have to be investing a lot of points. Also into research that you might not really like, because it's not that useful. But their effect on the battlefield is undeniable. These things can cause so many casualties. And I don't think... No, they've never reached my trenches. So, all of this infantry... Yeah, look at that. Do you want a ceasefire? They had 16 minutes left. Yes, I'll accept your ceasefire. Go on. How many did I lose? Because I lost one tank. I lost one tank. Costing me 199. They lost 6,000 men. And 4 tanks. No wonder they decided to call it quits. Jesus, so that's a tank in a sort of defensive role. And by that I mean I was attacked by the Allies. I was on the receiving end. What happens if we go on offense? What happens then? Oh, I'm not even sure we're going to get the opportunity for that. What? How do they keep getting our national will points? Wiped out. We've lost some important technology. Our tanks, planes, and siege arty can only be fixed so much. If they're destroyed or lost on the battlefield, we have no choice but to order the factories to build more. This is expensive and time-consuming. Try not to lose too many. I'm sorry, I've only lost one tank. Can we not blow this out of proportion? This is going to unlock the British Mark IV, which replaces the Mark I. And the German Sturmpanzerwagen gains increased cannon damage. Ah, yes. I can also get the Mechanic. Increases supply granted by tank battalions by 5. I thought they didn't grant any supply. Not anymore. Reduces replenishment cost of surviving tanks by 40. Okay. Eventually, you can also get the armor support. Increases the... It actually doesn't have any... Sorry, it doesn't do anything for the tank itself. It buffs the supporting aura that the tank has. Then you can get the Whippet companies to the Brits and the Flak Panzer company to the Germans as an add-on. You can get the repair team. No, sorry, the repair tent. I believe this is like the tier 2 garage. You can get armor advancements, which you'd think... Oh, this is like armored support. Right. That's why it supports the infantry. It's armored support. This boosts the armor, well, the health of your tank by 10%. They carry a mechanic that repair the tank when not in combat. Jesus Christ. You can get these things with auto heal inside of a battle? That's a little overpowered. Eliminates the movement penalty for tanks when moving on muddy terrain. And eventually... Mechanic Garage 3 increases the supply granted and reduces the replenishment cost. I do want the increased cannon damage, especially seeing as I will be attacking this time around. So let's bring everybody. And we're going to go to Saint. Because even... Yeah, look, I could try and take these guys on. I don't think it would work. It's likely going to be a stalemate. Let's put a supply depot here and a field hospital. This is much, much more likely to become a win. They got 60 companies of Frenchies, 20 companies of Brits, and 4 arty batteries of each type. And I have 18 tanks. Alright, here we go. I have 4 command points, and so do they. They got point C over there, point B wide out in the open, point A right next to a forest, and then a command trench. I cannot see any of their deployment. This is also a change relative to the previous version. This has been changed in the new version. Normally you could see where the enemy had deployed the trenches. You could even see companies inside the trenches. That was apparently not part of the plan. So they removed that. And I think that it does make it a bit more fair. Now, I am not expecting the AI to go on the offensive, but you never know. I want to have a couple of defenses, and most of my firepower is naturally going to go into the tanks. Because tanks dramatically changed warfare. No longer do I need to bring a bunch of artillery and fire a whole bunch of salvos, which cost, well, supplies, at machine guns. I can just roll up with a tank, shoot twice, and go home. Because the tank will survive, the machine gun will not. Also, the Trenches have been made cheaper. Improved firing trench used to be 30. Advanced firing trench used to be 50. That thing got a pretty nice price reduction to 30. Again, works both ways. It's not necessarily going to be a, oh, this is now easy. But it definitely helps. You know what? I'm going to go on the offensive from here. For the simple reason that I don't want to defend this. Whereas if I just have an observation balloon and park 2 tanks, that's going to be pretty much GG for them. They will not be able to do much. Let's have a defensive line here. Minor one. I'll take an elite infantry and 2 standards. Elites have snipers, these guys do not. And as you can see, if you look at the bottom right hand side, it now gives you a sort of crosshair icon. That's that these guys have snipers. These guys do not. These guys also get a bonus from being inside one of those improved trenches. As for the side all the way over there, I'm not particularly interested in getting a whole bunch of trenches because I don't want to stay here. I want to move from here. Seeing as I do have a tendency to lose track of things on the minimap, let's make it as easy as possible for me. So I'm going to go here with the balloon. I'll put like a trench over there and toss an elite infantry inside. We're going to have 2 tanks on defense, believe it or not. And we're going to get offensive with the rest of them. There is one thing you need to about tanks. They are very good, but they do not capture territory. They do not actually capture control points. So that is a factor that you need to keep in mind. And as such, you will always need infantry. You'll always need boots on the ground in order to capture the territory once you've purged everybody from it. Now for my arty, I'm thinking a position here would be useful. I'm not saying arty has lost all value. Absolutely not, because you can still shell enemy companies that happen to be in your way. Or that happen to be coming towards your lines. You still have options. It's just that you don't really have to. You now have an option. You now have a choice for something that's a little better. I want you to move here. This is going to be the Schwerpunkt. This is also where we're going to have some elite infantry. And I got 414 supplies left. That's not a whole lot. Tanks are really expensive. So I best make best use of them. And get more. There we go. That's a lot of tanks. Might be too many to be effective, because most of them won't actually be able to fire at the same target. But whatever. Let's just go. Alright, give me information, give me vision. And let's move. Oh, they got a mortar! That is not very good news for me. Because mortars are death to tanks. Look at this. This is... Give me a second. Spacebar now slows the battle to a crawl. I.e. pausing it. So very nice to quickly hit spacebar and give your orders or make screenshots for thumbnails, for example. Now, these trenches are defended by barbed wire, which is cute, but does absolutely jack shit against these things. The mortar does. And this tank has already lost 85% of health, but that one shot wiped out the mortar. That was just flat out ridiculously unfair. I like it. So now we're going to move up. Oh. This is it. These guys have... Yeah, like, it's cute, but what are you gonna do? What are you really gonna do? This is what it must have been like. You see one of these steel beasts coming towards you, and things just start getting crushed. Infantry, trenches, barbed wire, it doesn't matter. It just goes. Okay, boys, you go over there. That was 70 seconds and I purged a control point. Holy shit. It's cute that they have more. This is crazy. If the AI ever gets their hand on tanks and they start using them in numbers, the way that I'm using them as a big... I don't know, I feel like a croupier, one of those guys from the casino that just sweeps across the board, taking all chips away from the table. I don't believe it's the dealer in English, but it's something fairly similar. Oh, and while I'm purging their next control point, I'm also capturing C, so I've already neutralized their timer, at least for the time being. Their already is getting a little tedious here. Yeah, that's cute, you got a trench there, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Sure enough, these tanks take damage, sure, but I got more tanks than you got men. I'm not sure if this is good for this game. I almost beeline straight for tanks. I almost just spent all my research on tanks. I did take some intel and some logistics. But... yeah, just go right there, would you? Oh, that mortar has to go. Priority target. I will probably lose a tank. Kill that mortar. Be quick about it. What? Huh. Oh, also take note. These guys have not been building as many comm trenches at all. There's one comm trench there, but this, and this is isolated. There's also one of the things that they've been changing with the new version. So, something like this is no longer connected, which is what I've been abusing for a lot of this campaign. You can... oh, this is going to die. You can basically just walk from trench to trench to trench against the allies. Or against the AI, because they have a tendency to make some mistakes. This guy's retreating, but still shooting. Okay. You can walk trench to trench to trench, and that's because the AI just... they spent so much on comm trenches. Every single line of theirs was connected, making it real easy to get everybody to go from trench to trench, and that would be it. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. We're receiving reports the Allies want to surrender, and the entire battlefield is ours. Should we accept? All points swapped to the German ownership and the battle will end. That was 3 minutes and 6 seconds. I sent in 10 tanks. Okay. Yeah, no wonder it's a sweep. 1,089 in losses. I lost at 233. Oh my god. I killed almost 8,000 men? 3 tanks were lost and 306 infantry members. They lost 12 national will. Surely they are defeated right now, right? I mean, I don't know what else to do to them. What else can I hurt the AI with? Because not only did I get a bunch of national will reduction for them, I also encircled them again. And this is going to make it so that the allies probably don't have any national will left. Here, mine's 10. How the hell are they still on 2? This makes no sense to me. I'm not sure if these guys know that they're encircled yet, so they might still move. Look at here. Siege already, German air wing, a conscript, and an elite. Okay, good. I do need elites everywhere. Let's bring one here. One there. Because I'm encircling another 3 sectors. I'm not sure why the AI just keeps not running out of national will. I'm fully expecting them to. But somehow, they stick around. How many tank groups do I have left? I got 1 group of 3 tanks here. And I got 3 tanks, so 9 tanks there. Jesus, these things go down very quickly. Very quickly. Let's get a couple more. Yes, they're expensive, but they're also incredibly deadly. So they're going to go to Nogent-sur-Seine, because that is the region that needs more. Thank you. Okay. Once more, then. If the Allies can find some money to attack with. And they can! They're going from Provence to Nogent-sur-Seine. Again? Because that went so well last time. I don't get these people. I truly don't. The patch notes also said that the AI was not going to be as likely to hit a position that they already attacked once and that didn't work. Well... On top of that, I put a supply line on Nogent-sur-Seine, so that's going to make it even harder for them to capture, because I got more supplies. And I don't have to rebuy my trenches. Right. Again, they didn't connect these. This comms trench is useless unless they put a machine gun on it. This is less than ideal for them, because I can just walk from one point to another. This is also too connected. This is good. I don't like this comm trench here. This doesn't serve any purpose, but this is useful. Because this line cannot be captured from this line. Nevertheless, I'm thinking same game plan. Simply because the tanks are so goddamn deadly. Let's just put elites in. Basically as a reserve force at this point. And I cannot use as many tanks because I can't afford as many, I think. No, I can. Exactly, because I don't have to rebuy those trenches. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna make a group of 4. And a group of 5. And I still have supply left. I can even make a forward defense if I want to. Like here. And I might even be able to hold out there. The challenge is going to be I'm likely going to get suppressed here. There's not that much that I can do about that. Oh, that's too close to the Y point. Okay. These guys are suffering a morale reduction. Okay. What if I just park 1 tank here? There you go. Now they're happy. Now they're happy. Now they're perfectly cheery. Excellent. You guys are going to sit there. You guys are going to sit there. And I'm going to shift my balloon here. Does that work? No. Again. Yep, that fits. Cool. Begin. I know I can still buy more, but I don't feel like I need to at this point. Alright, allies. What you got? And moreover, is it going to be enough? Because I fear it will not. What have they built? Do you have any mortars? No? Cool, I'm coming by to visit. I still need to destroy 3 light arty companies, and you seem to have 2 of them here. They do have a machine gun over there. It's fairly adorable, but largely useless. I'm already looking at a pretty major victory. The only thing that I'm expecting is arty. So I'm going to make these a separate section. So that if this group comes under arty fire, I am not as likely to take a lot of damage. Because I think arty fire is more a when than an if. Yeah. Let's go hit their batteries. And then turn around. That's one trench deleted. Yep, the guns are firing against the arty. If I can get the arty, and they don't have planes, they're pretty much done for. There's the arty. Okay. Turn around. I think it can get pretty expensive to repair tanks and to use them all the time. So in that sense, yeah, you're gonna have to be a little conservative with them. But you only need a couple of these level this level of wins in order to really rock the boat for the Allies. Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 companies. 15 companies. That's half their pop cap. That's not even counting the machine gun. And I'm holding it off with 4 units. 16 companies. There. Gone, gone, gone. You guys are going to be gone pretty soon. You just haven't smartened up yet. Go get that. So I still need to get a 3rd battery. And because I'm making these things only move short distances and then turning around, they're not even able to do anything about it. Because even artillery can't adequately fire at these targets. Because by the time that it starts raining down, I'm already gone. So right now, let's turn around. The sniper should take care of that. This is ridiculous. Yes, this is tank warfare, I know. But truly, I can potentially get away with 0 losses. And the Allies are losing men at such a rate. I thought it was bad with the machine guns. This is a new level. Where do you think you're going? Jesus. And yes, I understand this is exactly what these things were sent here to do. Oh, that's a mortar. By the way, I didn't even bother buying arty anymore. I thought, I got a tank. What are you gonna do? So I got 2, 4, 6, 8. I got 9 tanks. I want to see if I have still 9 tanks by the end of the battle. Done. 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 Dead. Defeated. I think I might have killed their arty as well. If this was it, and they didn't deploy anything more, then they just don't have anything left, arty-wise. But the real question is, how do you kill a tank? What I've found, especially the cannon tanks, are very dangerous to destroy. I think that the German tanks, such as these, are extremely deadly. But they have one big foe. And that's anything that attacks them from above. That's where they're weak. And if you send in a bomber, or if you just put a massive amount of machine guns on a position, that will help stop it. There you go. That's a cute machine gun you got there. Turn. This tank has to pull back. Nope, got destroyed. Okay, so now I have 9 tanks left. No, 8. 8. Yeah, okay. What I really want to know is whether this constitutes as the loss of 1 tank group or not. Because if you cannot even lose 1 tank, then it's going to get really expensive. But just imagine having these things also auto-heal. Because that's something that you can research. If this thing auto-heals, when it's out of combat, you can just have 2 groups of tanks. 1 cycles in, 1 cycles out. And you just park them off to a side, and you wait for the things to get repaired. Go away, don't touch my tank. What are you gonna do? Really? Let me know down below in the comments. Do you think this is good? Or do you think this is bad for the game? Because yes, this is how tanks used to work, I think. Gameplay-wise, is this really what we want? Because I was steamrolling the AI before, but on maps where you had 20-minute timers, especially big maps, like 4 points that you needed to capture like this, it could be a challenge. Right now, it feels like a point-and-click game. So in that sense, maybe you should go without tanks, because they're too strong. They're just ridiculously deadly. I am surprised that the Allies haven't decided to surrender yet. I'm not sure what further motivation they're going to need here. Perhaps we just need to spray down a couple more companies. They are losing men at an alarming rate. And I feel like I keep saying that, but I also feel like it keeps being true. And what I'm basically doing here is a drive-by with, what, 8 machine guns per tank? By the way, they don't have any already. They got a mortar here somewhere in the back, or they used to. You still got a mortar, guys? Yeah, you do. Okay, I'm not touching that. Where are you going? Don't think so. I don't even have to move the tanks. I can just put up an iron curtain here. And say, yeah, no, this is not where you're going to end up. Period. Rush in here and you're facing 8 stationary machine guns. And if you try to attack somewhere else, those 8 stationary machine guns are going to turn out not to be that stationary. And they'll see you there. Also, as I'm spotting all these guys with the tanks, they're immediately coming under attack from the snipers, which makes this so much worse. Gone. Gone. Oh. That's a mortar. Mortars are really deadly. Mortars and bombers, that's, I think, the only thing you gotta look out for. And other tanks. In a battle like this, where they don't even use tanks. I do think they have them in this group that they're attacking with, but I'm not 100%. No, I probably destroyed them. And as such, the whole company's gone. Yeah, so these guys can't do anything. I got a job for you. I need you to capture this control point. Because I know that I'm supposed to be defending, but I didn't quite get that memo. So we're going on offense. The loss has been staggering, you don't say. All of this can be yours for the low, low price of 1 tank. Because that's all that I've lost so far, 1 tank. Even this company, they just walked right into the B cap. Gone. Gone. What do you mean you're snoozing? Oh, you're suffering battle fatigue. Never mind then. Come on. Capture the point. Oh man. Kill it with fire. Thank you. I think that in a situation like this, the AI should have surrendered a long time ago. Because truly, what will they do? Oh wow, I've lost men. What happened to you? Have you been in a firefight or something? And my men are still getting a morale bonus. Yeah, dead. Dead. Oh, this does make me think that for the next campaign I'm just going to rush tanks, period. Don't go for anything else, just get tanks early. And you're going to be absolutely demolishing whatever you come across. Yes, it'll be expensive. Sure. But if you micromanage these things well, and you get their engineer thing, the mechanic where they auto-repair, well, I think it's a pretty done deal, right? I don't want to bring the wounded tank. No. We're going to reorganize these groups a little. I want to go on the offensive. So, you guys are now the defense party. You guys are now the offense party. I want to go and kill that mortar. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'll take your ceasefire. I've lost 1 tank. That's it. How bad? It's 18,500 men. And I lost 1 tank. And 87 men. And sure, the men inside the tank, but I'm not counting those because the game doesn't. Cost me 173, cost them 2,318. They lost 11 national will and I only gained 6. Again, thanks to the patch. So by my math, they should now be negative national will. But somehow they keep surprising me. It's like they're getting propped up by something, and I don't know what. There, national's will 0. Light rain. Destroying light arty means killing them off. Done. 0 national will.
The armies
Done.
of the German Empire, the finest fighting force the world had ever seen, was victorious. As in the Franco-Prussian War before it, the German army crashed through the French lines. In spite of their tenacity, the British were pushed back to the sea. As artillery thundered across Paris, its leaders conceded. Prone at the feet of the Kaiser, the Entente alliance was no more. History would forever be changed. Germany now emerged as a nation powerful enough to shape the modern world, stripping the Allies of their colonies and building their own. Galvanized by victory, this new superpower would shape the world for years to come. Just how far would its ambition take it?
And that's the end of the campaign. Done it. Finally, the guns fell silent. Yeah, because we deployed tanks. So, that's the the German campaign done. Now I'm going to switch over to the Allies. I'll do that in a future series, and we're going to try and do the same thing to the Germans. Based on what I'm seeing right now, I'm thinking the tanks are extremely powered. Well, extremely powerful, potentially to the point of being way overpowered. And I think it's going to make early game a lot more interesting. I also know that with the new changes to the game, thanks to the patch, the wars are going to take longer. So getting a victory in 1916 is no longer as easy. All that, I'm very much looking forward to another series, and I hope you are too. Thank you for joining me this time. Next series is going to be a little different. Different faction. I'm going to also be adding different types of logs. And I hope that you guys will join me for it sometime soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon for more.